It's about 12:30 at night, midnight, and I am raking leaves, and I was raking leaves, and then I decided to stop and make this video because I have Gary Vee ringing in my ears, ringing in my head, telling me to just do it, to just say it, post it, stop thinking about it, you know. So show don't tell. It's 12:30 and I'm out here raking leaves because it's raining and it's cold, but I like that because I'm strange. Because tomorrow is yard waste day. My yard waste isn't full. I forgot to do it today because I was doing other stuff, and you know, I know that we have a lot of leaves, and also I like to be outside, prefer to be outside, and I like to be outside when it's cold, and I like to be uncomfortable, because the more I make myself uncomfortable and the more I make myself just deal with that, the healthier I feel, the more vibrant I feel, the more grateful to be alive I feel, the more energetic and enthusiastic and indebted. I definitely feel indebted every day that I'm 50, every day that I feel 25, I'm so grateful. And especially because I wasn't valuing myself, I wasn't taking good care of myself, and you know, I'm blessed to be alive and to be happy and sane, truly. And when I say blessed, I mean literally blessed by the universe sending people like Gary Vee out into the world to speak their truth and give over and over and over and over again. And I'm saving my life one day at a time and saving my sanity and my kids' future. You know, that's what I'm trying to ensure. And whether you have kids, whether you are a kid, whether you know a kid, it might be worth knowing that we're in serious trouble if we don't get our shit together. We are. You may not be a big old dork like me, but all I do is, you know, listen to lectures from Stanford and, you know, scientists and all that interesting shit that, you know, I just think it's interesting. And, you know, I had a head injury and a hard childhood, so anything that helps me to learn and grow is a good thing. So, and I'm fascinated by how much easier it is for me to learn math and science than it was in high school, is the other thing. I have a head injury and I'm 50, but, you know, I'm not having a hard time learning math on YouTube. It's crazy. All my math teachers hate me because I thought I was slow at math. You know, anyway, okay, got distracted. So I'm going to go back to raking leaves here in a minute, but I'm making this video to tell you that, honestly, if you get out of your comfort zone and you do something that you have never done, or that you don't want to do, or you never thought you would do, or you absolutely said you never would do, if you do it, you will be proud of yourself, you'll like yourself, you'll kind of think more of yourself, you'll respect yourself more, you'll honor yourself more, and you'll start taking care of yourself better, and you'll start feeling better and looking better and acting better and wanting better and just being better. Better for you, better for your family, better for the planet. And that's a universal truth. I don't care what color your skin is, or what color you vote, or any of that crap. It's a universal truth that if you figure out who you are and you honor that, you'll be happy. And that's all there is to it. If you really, truly understand who you are, what makes you tick, what moves you, what grips you, what you would walk uphill both ways to do for free, you know. For me, it's historically been, you know, kids, younger people, making sure that they were absolutely 100% sure that they had somebody, you know, who would have their back and would listen and would pay attention and who would keep the world from falling apart, you know? That's my thing, is it's imperative to me that none of my shame be passed on to anybody coming after me, you know? And I inherited some shame from my parents, and I converted that shit into energy. And by doing that, I freed myself, and I also changed their legacy. You know, they both committed suicide, but that's not the most important part anymore to me, because the most important part has become that they gave me the strength to not fold under the weight of my own disaster, you know, and gave me the humility to see that I was being a fucking asshole, and that I am an asshole, and that I don't know anything, and that I never will. And, you know, and a sense of humor to go, oh, fuck it, that didn't go well, you know. And so I fucked up just about everything that's possible to fuck up. And I don't imagine I'm done. I think I'm just getting started. You know, been raising kids. I'm about ready to loose myself on the world. That's gonna be interesting, because I got some shit to say. I really do. And I'm gonna say it. Well, I mean, somebody's got to say it. So, you know, might as well be me, because I've been banned off Twitter since before I ever went on Twitter. I tried to log into Twitter and it said, nope, sorry, you fucked up. I'm like, well, what did I do? Sorry, I'm looking around because, you know, it's the middle of the night and I keep hearing people, because there are people wandering around, because there are a lot of homeless people in Seattle. But anyway, which is, you know, part of the point is that, you know, we need to get our shit together so that we can take care of the people who need to be taken care of. And there are a whole lot of people that need to be taken care of. Truly and sincerely, it's just not okay that we have a society that just literally does not give a fuck about its very least. I mean, come on. These people are traumatized in the extreme. And I'm telling you what, I literally feel like, I don't know, like I secretly bribed somebody or something, because I don't understand how I didn't go completely insane. You know, I had a nervous breakdown, but I didn't go completely insane. I caught myself, I checked myself, I heard steady, calm voices, not just voices, saying, you know, you can do this. You know? I did it, or I saw, you know, or my best friend did it, or whatever, you know. It's the fucking internet, man. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do, or how you do it, or when you do it, or why you do it, or why you don't want to do it. You can find the answers to settle your little mind about it, and to figure out how to explain it, or get over it, or deal with it, or pay for it, or whatever, you know. It doesn't matter. I mean, the thing is that it just doesn't fucking matter. I mean, as James Hillman said, we're all scandals. We really are. We're all scandals. We're all assholes. We're all idiots. We really are. I mean, come on. And when you say you're a victim, then you turn somebody else into an abuser and a bully. And I just feel like that's not really my right to do. And so I refused to do it. And I was having a really hard time asking for help, because I was feeling sorry for myself, because my circumstances sucked, and they partly sucked because I'm an idiot, and they partly sucked because people around me were lacking integrity. But that's not surprising, because I didn't have any integrity, so why would I attract people into my life with integrity? And so that's the close up the artist and go inside, because now they're circling a little bit. The thing is that you can't act out of integrity when you don't know yourself, okay? Because what are you going to base what would the integrity be based upon? Absolutely nothing. So for me, at least, what happened is I was raised by sit down and shut up and don't speak till you're spoken to, and, you know, and then some. Lady Jane, and, you know, who do you think you are, and all that stuff. So, you know, that's the message that I received about my value, my worth, my opinion, my, you know, place in the world. And so, you know, my dad used to sing a little ditty to shame me when I would show off. So the point is, I didn't have a fucking clue. And I was raised by people whose idea was teaching me about finances was, Erica, answer the phone and tell the bill collectors that we're not here. You know, truly. And we're moving because they got kicked out, you know, those kind of parents. They were acting like a lot of adults are acting, truly and sincerely, like they could act however they wanted. And it you know, that somebody would pick up the tab and somebody does. Very often the kids. And that's, in my opinion, unforgivable. And, I mean, when I do it, and when you do it, and when any of us does it, you know, we all do it. But the thing is that we have to stop doing it. We just have to stop. We have to check ourselves. We have to say, this isn't working. Okay, we're hurting each other. We're damaging each other. I was 47 and, you know, tried to turn myself into a psych unit because I was going to kill myself, you know. And both my parents did that. You'd think that, you know, but I was on a bunch of meds and they weren't working, and I was miserable. And I hated my life. I'd fucked it up, and I was afraid I was going to lose my bond with my kids, you know, and that's the most important thing to me. And I'd already lost a whole bunch of people, everybody, pretty much. And I was in a terrible relationship and just a fucking hot mess. And, they sent me home, you know. They said, nope, you know, here's some lithium. I was like, I don't want to take lithium. So I went home and basically just weaned myself off of everything and said, you know, I don't know what the hell's going on out there, but I do know somehow, I don't know how I knew, but I just remembered that, you know, I was pretty determined person. You know, once upon a time, I used to be the kind of person that I would do anything that I set my mind to, and I would accomplish anything that I set my mind to, and that I was also, most importantly, I had never been the kind of person at all who would accept bullshit, you know, my own or anybody else's. And so here I'm seeing all these people that are in really terrible straits for whatever reason, you know. They're mentally ill or they're disadvantaged in some way, and I would not have a clue of how to help them. And there's so many, and I was wondering why everybody else was acting like there's no big deal, you know, and child pornography and bullying, and I don't know, I couldn't understand it. So I pulled my horns in, you know, focused on my kids, and I just stopped paying attention to the world. And then my youngest son was, you know, a teenager, and I'm not stupid, you know. I knew it's time for a career move, you know. I'm not going to hang around like bad fish and make my kids smell me, you know. That's not a good look. You gotta let them fly. And so I started preparing myself, you know, so I could do whatever I was going to do next and be ready to do it, like boots on the ground, the second that I could tell that my son was, you know, done with my services, basically. You know, I've been raising kids for a long time, and I have no illusions, and I really don't want to leave him with any scars, so I didn't want him to have to brush me off, you know, because that's not a good look. So, and plus, you know, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? I still got a lot of mo, you know. So, I started looking around, and everybody's like, resume? No resume. Well, actually, I wrote a resume, but you know, I just wrote it myself with all the shit that I've been doing for the last 25 years. You know, refinishing my house and yard from top to bottom, basically, and raising kids and whatever. But you know, no resume, no last employer. It's a little interesting thing that we've got going on here in this society, but point is that it's really easy to get lost. It's really easy to get lost. And once you start to slide, it can be really hard to stop yourself. And it can be impossible beyond a certain point, the tipping point. And I kind of feel like there are a whole lot of people that are homeless, or that are nearly homeless, or that are living a parasitic lifestyle of one form or another. I just feel like those people are one fuck it further removed from, you know, home and hearth than I was anyway. Because there were so many times when I swear to God I could have just said, fuck it, I can't take this anymore. I've shared a house with my ex-husband for 12 years. Okay? And he's a decent person, but it's interesting. You know, power dynamic and all that stuff. And when you decide that you don't want to play the game anymore, you know, it's not usually very festive. So I had to get over that. I had to get over feeling like I was, you know, poor baby because I was, you know, put upon or whatever. And, you know, just bullshit, just my own bullshit. I went, oh, that's kind of crunchy. So the thing is, when I stopped believing my own bullshit, started checking myself, and then I started to trust myself. And then I started to kind of like myself, and then I started to take better care of myself. I actually gave up soda, and my ulcers calmed down, and suddenly I feel like I'm 25. And people keep asking me and telling me, you know, and remarking upon the fact that, you know, I have tons of energy, and I'm happy every day. I love everything and everybody, and I just want to have a good time, and I love to work. I'd rather do that than just about anything. And I feel great, you know, especially for 50. But the point is, I don't know exactly what to say, because, you know, I have no use for a compliment. What I want is an opening, you know. I don't need a compliment. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of what you look like. It only matters how you feel in your body. That's all that matters at the end of the day. That's really all that matters. You're not going to care about anything else. Truly. Now, right now, you may be young and energetic and full of vigor, and you can regulate your body, you know, your body regulates its temperature well, you know, but, you know, I fell off the back of a U-Haul on my head, knocked myself out, and my body temperature's not, it doesn't regulate itself normally anymore. Like, I'm freezing, and I force myself to be cold all the time, you know, because, well, I don't force myself. It's like I have gotten to the point where I accept it, and I don't see it I don't feel it anymore as a, oh my God, you got to do something. You know, now I just accept it. You know, I take cold showers, and I'm outside all the time, and I walk in the rain and work in the rain, and, you know, I just, partly I think I started doing it because I'd be outside thinking, you know, how are we going to get these people off the streets? You know, but it's easy to forget. I'd go inside, and that was the weird thing. Like, I would hire somebody from my neighborhood to help me with something, and then they would leave, and I would go inside, and I'd be thinking to myself, I mean, I would go inside, and it was so warm. It was so warm, it was almost uncomfortable. And I could take a shower, I could eat something hot, you know? And, I just don't get that. We are literally all human. Literally all matter as much as anybody does. Every single one of us. And so, you know, you can protest and you can get up in arms, but the fact of the matter is that as long as any of us suffer, then all of us are going to suffer. That's all there is to it. When we figure that out, all of our troubles will end. I absolutely guarantee it. And it will happen so naturally and so fluidly. that we won't be able to tell the exact moment that it all changed. Well, later we'll look back and we'll try to figure it out. When did it become love? I don't remember. Do you remember? I don't know. I just know I woke up one day and I felt like it was going to be a good day. And then it was. I don't remember when that was, but man, can you believe we ever felt any other way? I mean, we just didn't know. That's the thing, is we just didn't know. Because we were told and they were told and we've all been told. But we were told wrong. That's all there is to it. We were told wrong. And I don't care who you are. You can be happy. And you don't have to be mad at anybody ever again. Because if you decide that you're going to own all your own outcomes, there's no reason to ever be mad at anybody. You just see everything as an opportunity to grow, to learn, to help, to humble, to whatever. You know, there's something in here. There is something in here. And when you start to look at the world like that, then nothing can hurt you. Nothing can hurt you. And nothing will want to hurt you. That's the thing, is nothing will want to hurt you. And once you figure that out, then you feel like, well, that's because I don't want to hurt anything else, you know. But I've never wanted to hurt anybody else. I just didn't understand that. I didn't have a choice because I was operating from, you know, my primitive brain that was conditioned and programmed in childhood, and I had to rewire that. You know, I had to go in there and, like, rooting a phone. That's how I look at it. If you can root a phone, you can do this. Slap on some headphones and listen to some shit other than your own bullshit. That's what I do. You know, started out because I was tired of listening to nagging, frankly, and useless chatter. Got me some beats, and I started listening to anything and everything that would elevate me from the pit I, you know, felt like I was in. You know, at first I just wanted people to tell me it was going to be okay, and then they didn't. They said it'll be okay if you're okay, and, you know, and I just kind of moved my way on up from there, and, you know, learned about, then when I started to care about myself, I started to learn about better health practices, which is where I am now. And I've been trying to write a book, but the thing is that there's no point in writing a book because I wouldn't charge anybody for it anyway, so I'm not going to, because that's just ridiculous. Because when you figure things out, you only figure it out by the grace of the, you know, the universe and the collective wisdom. It's like we're given what we're given. It's like it floats by, and if we are smart enough to grab it or to see it or to understand it, or to understand that it's ours, you know, like, not smart enough, but like, if we're not up in our busy brain, swirling around, listening to our own chatter and our own, if we're not too chaotic, you know. So if we have any quiet moments in our day and we reflect and we're so grateful that we're on high alert for opportunities to connect and just love, you know. So, I mean, you kind of get, like, stupidly hungry just to give some love, you know. I totally understand those people that just say free hugs. I mean, I totally get it. It's COVID and people would shoot me, but I just want to hug some people. I especially want to hug all kinds of people that are not the same color skin as me, because that's the world that I've been building. Like, I understand, I realize I'm a little Pollyanna, and I had my head up my ass, and I was focused on raising my kids. I get that. So I know that I was kind of checked out a little bit, but for a while. But, like, before that, I kind of remember, like, we were all cool, is what I remember. Like, I mean, I got my ass kicked quite a few times because I was the only white girl in the neighborhood, you know, and I was 12, and, you know, everybody had just discovered each other, and then here I come because my parents are idiots and had to rent a house from my uncle, and he bought it for the investment value, and it was in a neighborhood that was not white, which is fine. I mean, I loved it. I thought it was amazing, but, I mean, I did, even at the time. I thought it was amazing. My parents weren't very happy about it, but, and as an adult, I totally understand, you know, the girls who kicked my ass a bunch of times, like pretended to be my friend, and I got my hair braided. It was bad. This girl, her name was Sabrina. I didn't know she hated me until she braided my hair. I wanted my hair braided so bad in cornrows, okay? This is 1983, 82, 83. It's my 13th birthday, and I asked my dad to pay for this girl to braid my hair. I wanted the beads and everything. I wanted them so bad. You have no idea. So, I mean, and I didn't care, and I didn't know I was supposed to care. I wasn't raised to think of that kind of thing. Like, you know, my dad had a little, you know, little bit of a problem with remembering that he was white. I'm just gonna be honest, you know. I'll show you pictures sometime. You can just tell by the shirt that we cremated him in. That's messed up. But anyway, the point is, yeah, I think his thing was just that he thought that he was like me. We just think that people are fascinating and interesting, and some people are, well, you know your own people, okay? So they're familiar, at least for me, like they're familiar. And I love everybody, but like I understand my own people more, I guess. So they're not quite as interesting, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't mean it like that. Like, I love everybody, but I just like to be able to, I just want to know about other people's music, their cultures, how does their grandma talk, and, you know, just stuff like that. I've always thought that that was fascinating, and I've always asked people because I want to know. I'll meet somebody and I'll ask them right away, you know, what their ethnicity is. I just think it's fascinating. We all do things differently, but we're all at the core, we're all exactly the same. That's the thing. At our very most basic, we are exactly the same. We're humans. And the way you know that is that if we go extinct here in the next little bit, which is looking likely, check it out for yourself. If we don't get our shit together, we are underway with the 6th mass extinction, and the 5th was the dinosaurs. So I just want to know, does anybody think that we're not on the list? Whatever you think about how we got here, or religious practices, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Just ask yourself a question. If there's a list of species that are not making the planet look good, that are not making Mother Nature happy, that aren't viable, that aren't, you know, caring for their young, that aren't evolving, that's when you become not viable. That's when you become, you know, extraneous, endangered. That's us. I mean, I would love to have somebody tell me that I'm wrong, but I don't see how we're not on that list. So what I think is the way to get off that list is to get our heads out of our asses. And the reason I say that is because I was on my own endangered list. I was trying to take myself out. I had a big old bazooka, and good thing I am a terrible shot. So it didn't take me very long of knocking off the crap and, you know, just following the basic laws of human decency, but not just human decency, but just decency, just, you know, life, just honoring life. When I stopped doing the shiesty shit that caused problems and disharmony and anything like that, you know, just don't do it if you wouldn't want it done to you. Don't say it if you wouldn't want it said about you. Just fucking knock it off. We're just assholes. We just need to stop. It's not okay. If Mr. Rogers wouldn't do it, then don't do it. That's the way. That's the answer. If Mr. Rogers says it's okay, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, don't do it. Just don't do it. That's the way out. That's it. Run it through the Mr. Rogers filter. If you do that, I think we'll be good. Truly and sincerely. I know I'm the only one that thinks this, or maybe I'm not, but, you know, I'm the only one I know who thinks this, but I don't just think it, I know it. Like, I'm absolutely 100% fucking positive that if we remember that we love people, and we love being alive, and we want to be alive, and hey, life is fun, and, you know, concerts are fun, and joy is fun, and sex is fun, and all kinds of things are fun. Babies, bouncing babies on your knees. Yeah, of course, because I said sex, but anyway, the point is, there's a lot that's fun. Let's remember it, and let's go after it, because we can do this. We can.